and married.
She
She just
me.
And they're the grown single people are the best because they could hang with the kids, they could color with kids.
That's when I
the
was
grown married
the
people
most.
who are trying to have children.
right. They're annoying.
On it.
They're annoying.
Be playing.
Yeah, no, we Adam and I. I'll tell you.
So
no,
then Ashley goes,
Nancy.
I don't want it, and I'm like, okay, it's fine.
No,
We're
I
not
tell
doing
Adam.
it 10 years.
Adam and I have this conversation, literally pillow talk every night. I send him trips, and I go, "We're bringing Nancy. I hope you know. We're bringing Nancy. I hope you know." I'm like, and then the moment she finds a man,
I know. We need to pray that Nancy doesn't find a man.
In the next year.
Exactly.
In the next year.
all right.
No, I was still babysitting when I found a man. So Nancy, I mean, as long as she don't get married within the next year.
Right, that part.
No,
yeah.
she can't get married next year.
She get married next year.
She can't.
Yeah.
No, but like
no.
I always like think about now
allowed.
because there was this one where like I totally would do a vow renewal, but I want a Spanish style wedding. Yeah,
That's weird.
He's not.
yeah. I sent you the one. Shut
She
up!
killed
Did
that.
I not?
No, I'm not saying I don't believe you when it's Spanish. I'm just saying, like, 2 years ago, I was trying to talk about this all the time, and in the moment, I wasn't gonna pay for people she wanted to be there. And she's like, I don't want to do it. Then I don't want to celebrate our marriage. And I'm like, okay. So that idea that left me a long time ago
It can
because
come
I
back.
needed at least 3 years to save for.
Can come back.
You know, because your first wedding, you got, and we talked about it in our last episode, you got parents helping out with it. You know, you got, by the time you second marriage, whether it's your second marriage with a new person or second marriage with your spouse celebrating 10, 15,
don't
20
care
years,
anymore.
you're on your own. Like
Yeah.
you are paying that whole thing yourself. So 3 years ago, I was mentally prepared to, little at a time, put money. But the moment she said, I'm not interested, I said, she goes,
Say less.
and she literally goes, I'd rather for our 10-year you take me to Japan than celebrate a 10-year with people. I said, okay.
Whatever.
Dang, my parents had to pay
The
for their
third of
own
the
for their
cost.
first
What?
and their second.
Oh, that's where we're
They got
going,
played.
Nancy. We're going
Right.
to Japan.
They got played.
We're going to Japan.
Yeah,
we will do a small vow renewal though, because I need to renew my vows because I'm a little wish-washer right now.
She's not getting nothing. She can get whatever she pays for. So whatever your budget
Said,
for.
I'm rethinking my vows.
Yeah.
I'm wishing.
Did you guys say your own?
Oh, absolutely
No.
not. Do you, the man of many words and the woman of few? No.
You guys did. You guys said
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah, you guys did.
Because you're a poet.
Yes, yes. 'Cause
Well,
he
that's
said,
why
seen
I
the
made
Are we
Myself
recording? I hope we're
first.
recording because he said I can't wait to explore every inch of your
We've talked
body.
about this at
Okay.
least 10 times.
And
I didn't take it.
I
That
should
sound
have
like
brought my
some.
vow book.
That sound like some Jodeci lyrics right there. I didn't
brought
say
his vow book.
explore. I said I'm gonna love you from
Head to
top of your
toe.
head. The exploring, I didn't get explore is like a
pervert.
whole nother level of explicit. I didn't take
You
it
can't
there.
give something to pastors because they'll run with it and make it too like extreme.
Yeah, well, I mean,
look.
as Pastor Aaron's standing there, I was like,
And then Ashley leans over to me because we're all like, what the heck? and then Ashley leans over to me and she's like, they haven't kissed yet until today at the end of their wedding. But no, she goes, they haven't kissed
made
yet.
out,
That's why
yeah.
he said that. And I said,
Nah.
I said they haven't kissed today? And she goes, no, stupid, in their relationship. I said, how? I said, that's possible? And she said, well, no,
was-
yeah, I think they've never made out. I said, up until they hadn't
God
even done it yet?
God gave us strength in that area.
Hey,
Yeah.
good on you,
Lord
bro.
knows.
yeah,
Good
because
on
then
you.
that
Good on
that
you.
kiss
Lord
was like
knows.
about 7
Good on
minutes.
you.
I think we all got up before they did.
Nah,
We're like,
hey,
I wasn't even expecting
that
that.
one. We
kiss. I was
got
like,
in and
I
out.
think
We got
my
in and out
photographer
on
got
that
a
one.
picture of me going.
We got in and out. We got in and out on that one.
At least
We got in and
at
out.
least like my daddy's right here. Stop.
I said, this mine now. It's on. It's on.
Aaron gonna beat you up today.
Barrier.
When Aaron
Mrs.
gets like,
Barrier.
Aaron gonna
After
beat
how
you
much
up.
torture my parents have put me through, like y'all
Yeah.
know how much like vivid they are with.
You
their-
haven't seen your parents make out in front of you before. It was time. It was
My
time
mom
to
and dad?
just-
No, never.
oh, never.
You grew up in a perverted household. No, I'm just playing.
It was just expressive in that manner. So,
No, that's good. I'm glad
picked that
you
up.
saw that.
I picked that up. You know, I picked it up.
But
and-
yeah, whoever increased my volume, thank you. That was
You're
low
right.
a second ago.
No, but Adam and I have done this. It's a weird thing, but it's a dumb thing too. He's like, don't share that. We were like,
Kick
show
me
me.
under the table
No,
right
no, no, no. He's like, I was like, show me how your parents used to kiss each other, like when you were growing up.
Oh, no.
And so she showed me, and I was like, I'll show you how my parents used to kiss. And it would be, they'd be in the front seat, and they'd go to kiss, and both their tongues would come out like,
Yeah.
and like,
In midway?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even-
No, not midway. Like me as a child, I'm seeing their tongues come out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, babe. And we did it the other day.
Yeah, first and last.
No, you debuted?
My mom's gonna be like, that's not true. I'm like, no,
I pulled
it was.
I pulled one of them
remember.
Collins.
Hey, for the vow renewal, I got you. Let me write your vow renewal. Let me hook you up.
I ain't trying to write porno.
50 Shades of Grey at the
Yeah.
altar.
Oh my god.
It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad.
It was great.
I
It was
don't
very
remember it being-
It wasn't
romantic.
that bad.
It was good.
I honestly don't.
It was
really
enough that
remember
everybody
much.
perked up. Like whoa, like
I
it
just
was like
remember-
it was
I-
like a whoa.
I just remember him talking about my toes.
He did
Yeah.
talk about them
And so-
toes.
I said
Listen.
from head to toe, and I said she got bomb toes, y'all. And then I went into the
Yeah, that's
next sentence. That was it.
Inappropriate in a wedding.
Hey,
There are children
my
present.
wedding.
There were.
There are children
they
present.
didn't know what I was
Mary
talking
and Trinity
about.
were there.
They didn't
Oh,
know.
they
They didn't know what I was
definitely
talking
They're
about.
raised by my parents,
They didn't
Erica
know what I
and
was talking
Aaron.
about.
Then they're fine. They've heard worse.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll live.
Aaron and Erica be crazy.
They'll live. They'll be all right.
They're wild.
Oh, hey, next month you guys 1 year,
1 year, yeah.
Wow.
What, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What do you guys do?
Already
Went
going on a cruise.
What the Navigator one
I think so. Yeah, my mom booked it. So
Out of LA.
Yeah.
out of LA?
Yeah, just a
Nice.
small little
Get
3-day
out.
cruise.
Yeah.
My first time on a cruise, so I'm excited.
No
Oh,
way.
cool.
Oh, you're gonna
Yeah, getting
love
outta here.
it.
Getting
Yeah.
out of here for a couple days.
All right, what have we learned so far in 12 months of marriage?
Lord.
What are some?
They said we dive
Welcome to
right
Beyond
in.
I Do.
Damn, right in. All right.
What's up, everybody?
So the question is, what have we learned?
What
thus
have you
far?
learned in 12 months? I remember the last time we had you guys on. So for those that don't know, we've had Colin and Eileen on, and we had them on probably within maybe 5 months of their, because we launched
Yeah.
Beyond I Do in September. We had you guys pretty early on. So yeah, I want to say within probably about 5 months of 6 months of marriage, we had you guys on. We heard some stories about Eileen's yoga or workout apparel at the gym and
yoga.
some things you were working through in at that time.
Yeah, past tense. Thank God.
So, so where are we at now? 12 months later, 12 months into marriage, both started really careers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you were already doing something prior, Colin, but
Yeah.
as this is like you're now in full time ministry career, it's a brand new
Yeah.
scope of career. Eileen started really a new career in the sense of you went from more hourly employment at Starbucks to now you have your own
Big
shop,
boss.
you big boss dog.
Big boss
You got
over
employees, got your own store, you make your own frappuccinos. You do
No, I
you
tell
do
them
all
to make it. I'm just
Okay. One of the employees makes it.
Her partners. No, she get mad. She say employees. She's partners.
that's-
Colin.
Yeah,
Partners.
that's called human resources tricks.
Partners.
So you both start careers. You're married. You're
Yeah.
you know you got a place together.
A dog.
You know,
A pup.
yeah.
A
Chose
moose,
to get
a
up.
baby moose. But yeah.
So where
I
we
don't
at?
know. So much changed from literally
Yeah.
the moment we said. I mean, we get back from our honeymoon, and Pops slides his paper across his job description for associate director of children's, and I'm like, "Do you want me to proofread this?"
Yeah.
Literally,
He's
literally
like-
2 days after
yeah.
we got back
Like
from our
we
honeymoon.
got back and he's like, "Let's go to breakfast." So I'm thinking, typical breakfast, and slides this across, and him, he hits this look, and I'm like, okay, I'm like,
Crazy.
Here we go, and it's wild because all the advice we got before going into marriage was don't make any major changes in your
Yeah.
first year, really soak everything in, and
Yeah.
I was 2 days in, and they were like, yeah, but not 2 days, technically like 10, 11, but. Get back and it's like boom, everything shifted that fast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot has changed within the first year. But I think the biggest thing I've learned is a lot. I'll say on one end, a lot of You can listen. Nah, a lot of what long suffering means, as far as really. But I'm saying this in a positive way. I'm learning what that means as far as thinking outside of yourself and really putting somebody else first, like despite how you're feeling or what you might want in the moment, like loving this person out.
I need more Botox because of you.
I mean, you see the grays coming in a lot more in the beard, but really, I think that's the biggest thing for me, learning a lot more of I got to get outside myself and put this person's needs first, and that's how I can best serve our marriage versus like it's not just serving her, but it's serving us in that sense.
Would you say before you got married, Colin, were you, because you got married a little older, so you were
35 is old now. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, in the ideal marriage, I'm sure you would have wanted to be married at 25.
When I was a kid, 25, and that. God
so
said,
that's what I mean by that.
Like
Like the picture of, ideally when someone plans to get married, you got married later, 35.
Yeah.
So when you got married,
twist.
yeah. So ideally though, you pretty much 20 to 35 is, you're in the middle of adulthood.
Yeah.
So 50. You had 15 years, like where me, I got married at 25. So I was like, 3 years into adulthood, out of college into my job, that it was like, I didn't have too many habits, attitudes. Like I got in marriage early on in my youth. So it just like, all I've really known now is being in a relationship with Ashley.
Yeah.
So for you though, you had 15 years, I know you dated Eileen for a little bit, 15 years though of you, and you've had relationships in between and stuff. But like, I say that to say like, have you found that like, since you got married later, were you a pretty selfish person going into marriage?
Definitely. You said 25, and I'm like 25. That was my first year overseas, and I wasn't thinking. I mean, I was thinking about marriage, but it was like on the back burner compared to what I was getting into. And I was just sharing that with somebody yesterday. Like God kept me, especially when I was going through college, but also over there. Just some of the things I was getting into, and really, I wouldn't say trying to live for Christ, but like knowing, okay, I should be living like this, but still kind of flirting with the world in a lot of aspects, and especially in the dating aspect. It was like God kept me and spared me through a lot of a heartache and a lot of situations to where it could have developed into something way, way, way worse. And I look back on those situations, and it's like as much heartache and confusion and all that came from that, like this, making it to this point with her was worth it. Like I'd do it all over again. In a heartbeat, if that led to, okay, getting this person who is completely about me and understands what it's like to, okay, she's living that same way. Okay, I got to get outside myself to serve this man and to give him my best. Like, if it took going back to 25 and starting that all over again to end up with lean, I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah. No question.
So to add on to that, in my question is this aspect. So a lot of times, when I'm like if we're doing couples and they're getting married and stuff like that, what sometimes happens is someone who gets married when they're older or remarried when they're older, they have certain attitudes, habits, and lifestyles that are pretty exterior, on the exterior, pretty selfish. What I mean by that is like they have a routine. This is when I go to the gym. This is when I do this. Once a year, I see my friends and we do an annual trip that does blank. And then what they do is they get married and then they say, hey, nothing in my life is changing. Yeah. My gym routine doesn't change. That once a year trip with my friends, it doesn't change. You are an addition because they were single for so long. They built like a habit that goes, hey, you're an add-on. So and that's what I mean by selfish. Like they get married older, so they've made so many friends that have had, like, you couldn't go on trip with a person that because you're not married, so you got 3 or 4 friends that have been single for so many years, and they do an annual trip, or you have this system in your lifestyle that I've met people, they go, oh, on Fridays I do movie days, and whether my wife wants to come or not, I'm still doing it because that's what I did when I was single. So it's like, and the wife would be like, I wish he would just wait for me to go to the movies, and he's like, well, I'm not. I've done Friday movie night for the past 15 years that I was single. What do you? So like when it came to you trying to get some people some advice who maybe are older, who may find themselves getting in a relationship, like, did you, now that you look back, it may not have been conscious, but as I'm speaking, are there any things that you were like, oh shoot, I'm like when I married Eileen, like I'm gonna have to change that. I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore, or that might have to. Or I'm gonna have to tell my friends this thing right here, this not gonna happen anymore, or whatever. And I'm not talking about sin. I'm just talking about attitudes and habits and preferences. Like, are there any like? Did you experience any of that?
I mean, a lot of that. I think one big thing that helped me coming into marriage was a lot of men that were already married for years and years and years letting me know and teaching me to expect, like, this is about sacrifice. Like, what you're signing up for is about sacrifice. It's not that sacrifice is a part of it. It's like that's what marriage is. Like, you as the husband are giving your life for this woman. And so I think I had great preparation from that. And I mean, I'm in the room with a lot of these guys now. Pastor Kenny, Pastor Aaron, Pastor Charles, when he was here, like I sat with a lot of these guys leading into marriage, and even now as I'm married, I continue to sit with married men just to get an idea of understanding what it is I signed up for. But I think getting ahead of it on the front end and going to counseling on my own before I even started dating her, like going to counseling and therapy on my own to understand what it was. Because the desire was always there. I knew from teenage years, I was like, I want a family. I want kids. I want a wife. I had seen my parents model it, my grandparents, uncles, and I knew that was in me to like kind of steward that when I got older. Yeah. I just didn't know what I was doing. In my 20s, I didn't know what I was doing. But as I'm meeting with these men and they're kind of letting me know, hey, you have to count the cost of what you're signing up for. It's not just you get married and something flips in your head. Like, you got to consciously make the choice to, I'm going to put what I want to the side, or, make some lifestyle change for us to be in the best situation versus me and my feelings and my comfort being in the best situation.
Yeah, it's great. Eileen, what have you been processing the past 12 months? What have you learned?
I think the past 12 months, I think I had to learn to communicate for sure, because like you said, like we both started kind of our careers so early on in our marriage, and when we were going through premarital, they're like, don't go into anything new, don't start anything new, like don't start, like really just embrace your first year of marriage, because it's a lot of change, and it is, but he got a new career, like a whole career change, and then I got promoted, so like to my own store, so like we were both very busy. And so I would start to feel very guilty, like as a wife, like feel like I'm failing as a wife because I'm exhausted when I'm coming home now. And I'm like, this is probably not what he signed up for. Like I'm not cooking as much as like I thought he would prefer. Like more so like I had
How much were you cooking?
Like maybe 2-3 times a week.
I put on 10 pounds since we've been married. 3 times a week?
When we first got married, before
what's it now?
Twice a week.
Wow.
I don't cook on weekends.
That's huge.
My left side just got real hot for some reason. Toasty over here.
I got twice since January.
He's getting potatoes tonight. He's gonna make the steak.
All right, everybody, welcome to our advertisement.
Yeah.
So you're watching our episode. We did a short break.
Yep.
What do we got a little break for, Ashley?
Oh, something really, really exciting. That when you came home and told me about the news, I was overjoyed, and I hope you had 30 pieces, but you only had one, but it's okay. We are going to be talking about our new partnership.
Yes.
With an amazing jeweler.
Yes. So we have big news. We've teamed up with the exceptional jeweler, Aaron Barnett, to bring you a unique jewelry experience, from precious metals to custom creations. Aaron has it all, whether you're treating yourself or surprising a loved one. So it could be for you or someone you love, okay? Mother, grandmother, sibling, spouse, a loved one. His jewelry is a testament to cherished moments. As part of our community, you get special discounts and a chance to visit his private showroom in Los Angeles. So for anniversaries, birthdays, or just because, discover Aaron's jewelry in our show notes. Elevate your relationships with exquisite pieces from our partner, Aaron Barnett. It's a great relationship that we have, because now we can offer great discounts to our Beyond I Do community to hook them up. And so you visit, like we said, visit the show notes, and let's get back into the show.
He's going to make the steak.
So I think communicating I think there was a podcast on Beyond I Do, with you, Pastor Ashley, and Grandma Pauline. Oh, yeah.
This
sorry,
is
you're the
Ashley
pastor.
right here
Yeah,
talking to-
Pastor Sanaz. Sorry. I worked at 4 a.m.
know.
today.
I was
I'm
like, there's
exhausted.
another one.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Right. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I don't think we have another one, but all right.
Pastor Ashley and Pastor Sanaz and then Grandma Colleen. And they were talking about how to just communicate when you need a little bit more or just a little bit grace in that. And I wasn't. I was just putting this pressure on myself where I thought what he expected from me as a wife. And I would just find myself crying, like, to him, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm a bad wife, like, I'm not cooking, like, I'm not cleaning as much.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
and he's just like, what? Like, what's going on? And
10 pounds. What
yeah.
are you talking about?
So, but in, like, my head, like, I thought he was expecting, like, this, just, like, a domestic wife that cooks and cleans every single day, and then, but, like, I'm exhausted when I'm coming home because, like, this new position, like, has me working, like, overtime sometimes. So, like, yeah, I think making sure that I'm communicating with him of, like, hey, I'm really exhausted. Like, do you think we can DoorDash something or, like, go out to eat or something? Because it was coming too much of a burden on myself of, like, having that expectation. Yeah. That he didn't even place on me. But, like, as far as, like, him, like, giving up something, I feel like he, like, in our marriage, excuse me, like, he went into it pretty well with, like, including me in everything. So, which I'm really thankful because we practiced that a lot when we got engaged. Like, there was a point where he did have, like, very, very close female friends that I knew of, like, going into, like, our relationship. And, like, I had met them and I knew of them already. Yeah. But there was, like, one time where, like, we're at a date, just me and him, and he, like, takes a phone call, like, from one of them. And I'm like, like, but, like, like, thankfully we were able to, like, hey, like, maybe, like, you know, like, let's put our phones aside in general, like, if we're on a date, because we don't get to see each other. So, like, now going into marriage, we sort of we already practice that. So, like, when it's just me and him, like, our phones are away. Whether we're watching a show or just having dinner together, like, our phones are away and we're just locked in because we are so busy now.
Yeah. I mean, there's newness in the marriage, but it's not a lot of scenarios where we're like, oh, shoot, we never encountered this before. We don't know what to do. Like, a lot happened in the engagement season where it was like, we want to be prepared for this when it happens, not if it happens, but like when it happens, kind of thing. So that helped a lot. Yeah. I think.
So how did you guys navigate the opposite sex friends further?
Man, I mean, I'm thinking of the first scenario with the whole spoken word thing. So I was getting ready for a performance, and it was going to be at a park, and I was supposed to meet with a group of people. Yeah. But literally, as I'm pulling into the parking lot, 90% of people bailed, so it was me and one other person, a girl. And so we're like, well, we're here. You came from a long ways. I'm far from home. Let's do our parts, and then we'll get out of here. And so sure enough, she FaceTimes me, like, as we sit down, and I'm like, I don't got nothing to hide, so I'm chopping up with her, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, this person's here. I passed the phone. They're talking. And she played it. She won't say you played it. You handled it very well.
She faked it.
But later on, we get on the phone. She was like, I want to talk to you about something. And I already knew what it was. I was like, okay. And so she just brought her concerns with, not that she didn't trust me in the situation, but how it might look to, like, our accountability, or should our leadership come by there. Anything like that, to where, you know, we just knew it was wise for us not to be alone in those kind of settings with, like, somebody of the opposite sex. So, I mean, now we have different contexts with it, to where, you know, sometimes I do have to have one-on-ones with people that I work with, or, you know, I might have to talk to a volunteer, but I'm not going off to a whole other room to go talk to somebody. Like, I might step off to the side or something. But, you know, we're in public.
Do you still
places,
have those, like, friendships?
Most of them,
Mostly one of them, but, like, it's like his god sister.
Yeah.
Like, they grew up together, and I think she contacts me more than she contacts him now. Like, now that we're married, and she's always been very respectful of, like boundaries. And it's not that, like, any women ever crossed the boundaries that, like, he had female friends with. It was just, like, me voicing my not concern, but of, like, hey, what this could look like if someone else were to see, like, or, like, you know, like, I don't know that person so much. But other than that, like, they've made attempts to get to know me as a person, like, aside, like, when me and him were dating. So, like, that kind of helped the situation. But now, like, we've set boundaries where, like, if we're on the phone with, like, someone of the opposite sex, like, it's on speaker in front of each other, for the most part. And then if it's, like, a conversation, like, with someone else, like, of the opposite sex, like, it's in a three-way like group message, like
Yeah.
kind of similar. Like what I think like my dad taught me that, like just keep it safe. Like you never want your good to be spoken evil of.
Yeah.
So just making sure that like I'd rather be safe in all things than any like I guess like muddy waters.
Confusing, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, that's good. We get asked all the time on this podcast about opposite sex friends and boundaries in the marriage and blah 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 when it comes to the opposite sex. So that's good. That's good insight on that type of thing. Yeah. What about as you guys talk about the future now that you're 1 year in? What did your conversations normally look like with that?
This week has been festive. I would say it's been real festive. It's interesting to see that dynamic change because I think originally getting married, I was gung-ho. I was like, look, I want kids off the bat. Like, I love kids. I work with kids. I got 2 goddaughters already. Like, let's get it going. Whereas her, she was like, no, I helped, raise my sisters. I was auntie and a babysitter like my whole life. Like, I want a break. So we compromised. We said, okay, 2 years in, we'll get started on that.
Yeah.
But this week, somebody wanted to sit on the
Eileen
couch.
did a little curve or what?
Yeah, so I'm like, what happened now, Lord? Please give me
What's the
strength,
curveball,
God.
baby fever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But I caught the hints, though. She would be at Target sending me pictures of these little extra small shirts. And I'm like, all right, God.
Like little baby clothes.
I
I'm
see.
like sending him memes of like funny
Yeah.
baby memes. So I'm like, oh, look at this.
Yeah. So we've been through the
Big-
names and all that since we got married, but it just got real this week to where we're like, okay, what if we start on this date instead of late
June
next
1st
year?
or what?
I'm like, no.
The cruise. That's a little too
Actually,
soon.
we're
That's a
leaving
little
the
too soon.
podcast early.
Right. Going on the cruise.
No, yeah. So we're definitely like we've decided to start like trying this end of this year. Cause I'm excited. I don't know how else to say that. Like, but yeah,
What's that?
how do you say?
Start making some babies.
Yeah, about to make some babies this end of the
taking
year.
them.
So, hopefully,
You said
God
at the
willing.
end of the year?
Yeah, towards the end of the year.
Oh, so not soon.
Yeah, they're going to practice
No.
celibacy till December.
Who's they?
The footman. The footman's going to...
You get some counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Have you guys
yeah.
talked about like parenting styles or like do you guys align with that or what are your thoughts?
It's funny because we talk about. I think we more so get to see it with this dog, man. Because we have
It is true.
we have different like
dogs do. They're not exactly the same as kids, but they. When I think back on how Ashley treated our dogs, she very much, in some ways, the personality is there. The way she treats our boys. So with the dogs, Ashley was very obsessed with them, very aware of them. If one of them sounded like they had a cough, she literally took Dior to the ER more than I've been to the ER my entire life.
Wow.
This dog has been to the ER.
Wow.
And so, but sure enough, as a mom, she is, she's always present with the boys. She's always
energy,
if the boys she's putting cream on their butts all day. She's lotioning it out. Like what she did with the dog. Like you take the kid, and you magnify it in a lot of those attributes. Ashley had
I'm
many
seeing
of those.
hints of what motherhood is gonna be like for Lean. But I think we're getting to see even just ways that we talk to him when we might be upset with him or when we miss it, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this is literally what it's gonna. This is a fraction of what it's.
We
gonna
did
be
get
like
in an
when a
argument
human gets
once
here.
over like how he treated him one day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like how dare!" Like he was.
She said, "How dare you."
So he's still a puppy. So like he still nibbles at you, and it's not hard. He doesn't nibble hard. He thinks it is hard, but whatever. It's because
You don't nibble you hard.
Okay.
Yeah, dogs nibble different genders differently for sure.
Well, he's also rough.
yeah.
He's rough with him. So like, of course, I'm not rough with him. So like, he knows. Oh, okay, this is dad, so I can be rougher with him. Like versus with me, like I'm chill. Let's lay down, and he just sleeps all day. So it's great. And then so he nibbled at him, and he pushed him, and I was like, how like why did you push him like
I'd
that?
about
Like
I choked this
like.
dog. Like her eyes, like
'Cause he,
you
like-
know the cartoon eyes where it's like super watery and glisten.
yeah.
That's what her eyes were doing that moment.
Because like, and he's such a puppy, so and he already like doesn't have very well balance, so like he
He
stumbled.
didn't come from a good family or good parents.
We got him from the hood. We went to Moreno Valley.
literally from the hood.
Moval.
Murder Valley.
You hear that, Phil? Moval's the hood.
So I was like, I don't like how you pushed him. Like, what if you do that to our baby? He's like, this is a dog. And I was just it's the same thing. And he's like, I'm like, but yeah. So we sort of started seeing the.
Oh my!
But he hasn't done it again since then. He hasn't done it.
He learned.
That's why originally. That's why
Around
Eileen
me.
originally made it 2 years.
Yeah. She's like, I gotta see Colin calm down.
Right. Let me see how he treats his dog.
Right.
Oh my gosh! But I mean, he's a sturdy dog. He just has no idea of
How big
balance
he
or
is.
space or any of that. So when I push him, he's tumbling, and she's like, "Oh my god, no!" And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, he literally just looks at you like, oh, okay. Like, back
Yeah.
to-
He didn't get back up to try to bite you again.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First year now, you've experienced almost all the holidays. How did you guys wrestle through holidays with your families?
Even that, it wasn't because we
Yeah.
had even practiced that throughout engagement. So it was like we game plan ahead. A time we had Christmas at our house, which was amazing. Like that worked out beautifully, having both our families there.
It worked
but-
out. Yeah, we were able to do our first year of marriage Christmas at our house. So like both of our
Nice.
families came to our home,
Yeah.
which was really nice.
And
I
we just,
cried,
even
so
with
it
that,
was good.
yeah, I think a lot of us cried that day. But even with that, like setting the tone for,
What'd you
okay,
guys
like
cry
what
about?
what
Why'd you
tradition
guys
do
cry?
we want to set? Because I
Oh.
mean,
So he also likes to do new
Apparently, to
traditions.
gauge, I don't know what tears are, so that's what I'm asking. What are you crying?
What is that stuff that leaks
Yeah,
from your
right,
eyes? Yeah. So he wanted to start a new tradition, like so that you pick a number or a name from like a bowl, and you write something that that you're thankful about for them.
so we kind of randomize it to where, I don't get to set my mind like, okay, I'm gonna say something nice about my wife today. So just shook everybody's name up to where, I mean, my thing is like, I don't want us to wait till, people are gone or something crazy happens to give them their flowers. Like, let's use this space to do it. So
Yeah. So we all wrote like different. So
Who'd
like
you get?
I got Faith.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who'd you get?
So you cried?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
cried.
talking to Faith,
yeah,
of
yeah, I
course.
got Faith.
I think you got
And
Trin,
Faith probably
low-key.
looked at you like,
Oh gosh, you got Trinity's like,
Yeah.
why are you guys all crying? You idiots?
I got you. But then of course we got to the
Literally.
moms. The moms hit the hardest. I think
Yeah.
your moms, and then my grandma was there. So my grandma got me. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh
no.
my god.
Yeah.
And then my mom spoke too.
My mom got my mom, right? I mean, your mom got my mom.
Yeah.
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 And so like my mom's crying, then I'm
Not
crying.
shocking.
Your mom cries.
Yeah.
she probably, her name probably just came out. And she was
Yeah, literally what happened.
Okay, so Christmas you hosted at your house. What did you guys do Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
We traveled Thanksgiving, didn't
Yeah,
we?
Thanksgiving. So
We hit
because
everybody's
of like
house
how,
Thanksgiving.
thankfully of like how our like where we live compared to like how our parents live. So we stopped at his parents first and then ended at my parents.
Okay.
And then
So
we
it's
go
kind of
home
like a
from there.
loop through the
Yeah.
IE, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, a
Wasn't
loop,
bad at all.
and then New Year's we had COVID, so we
Oh,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
we stood home.
Yeah.
Didn't
good
do
times.
nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we tried to do the little birthday bash for me and couldn't do.
Yeah.
We were on the couch.
Yeah.
That's so
Wow.
I was
crazy.
rehabbing for my birthday, but
Yep.
yeah, I mean, all that worked out because we talked about a lot of those things in
In the front
engagement,
end.
and then I mean, we did it throughout engagement too. So it was like, hey,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the reality when we are married. Like, let's start
Yeah.
practicing now,
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what works best. So
And then especially because I also have my Mexican side, so like Christmas Eve, we always see
Yeah.
like my grandma because she doesn't celebrate Christmas Day.
Yeah.
We celebrate Christmas Eve with us
Yeah.
Mexicans. So, so we always go either. Sometimes my mom will host it, or my aunt, or my grandma would host it. So we went and saw my grandma and like my Mexican side.
shout
on
out
Christmas Eve.
Mama, best
Yeah.
best quesadillas in the world. Bro. Oh my god.
She didn't bring you watermelon like she did Erin.
Oh
No,
I'll take that shout out back. She has no problem.
no, she just made his quesadillas like really, really
quesadillas
spicy.
are on
Yeah.
point. On
He didn't realize
point.
that she makes.
I mean, I was
very spicy.
drenched in sweat, but it was
Yeah.
amazing. The best.
Have any of your friendships started to kind of change or get stronger as now your first year of marriage?
Well, not only marriage, but then you guys' first year being here at Rancho because you guys both came
Yeah.
over from Pomona.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, it changed a little bit, for sure. Because yeah, like you're in a new territory, so like already being married, it's kind of like okay, like not that we didn't have our single friends, but there's some things that our single friends are not going to understand what we're going through, or like be able to like, I don't want my single friends to like hype me up, or like, like I want them to like want us both to win. So yeah, there were some certain things, and then when we moved to Rancho, it was, for me, I mean, I know for him too, it was a very lonely season. Like in the beginning for sure, because although I knew people, everyone I knew worked here, so it's like I can't follow everyone around, or I can't. So I'm just like, okay, like what do I do? So yeah, it was pretty lonely at first, and then like reconnected with Jasmine, which was great. To where like now me and Jasmine literally talk every single day. Like so like friendships that like I had while I was here, like they're kind of being like rebuilt, like now that I'm back, which is awesome. And then just like finding like a time to still connect with our old, like not our old community, but with our community that still go to Pomona. But it's really just like,
we have to be that much more intentional with people and with time now, because they're that much further and we're not having to go that distance every Sunday or Wednesday. Now, like just being intentional with them to where, hey, if I got to catch you during my lunch this week, like we got to make something happen to spend time together. Or, I mean, I've been on FaceTime like crazy the last couple of months just to get some kind of like interaction or touch base with people back there. But I mean, at the same time, like coming over here, it was a different, or it feels like a different culture here, because I feel like at Pomona, like getting over there when it was based like foundational level, doing launch parties, and we're at Simon's and, you know, building the church inside of where it's at now, like, you know, ripping out carpet, doing all that together versus here. I felt like coming in, a lot of things were already established culture-wise, so it was like, okay, where do I fit in? Like, who do I fit in with kind of thing? Like, who do I vibe with, whatever. But, I mean, as far as the people, like, taking care of, I feel like people have done what they can to, like, take care of me and make sure I do feel at home here and teach me things, especially this guy right here, Minister Gabe in the building. But, you know, people making sure I feel at home and that I'm understanding not only what's happening here, but like how I can give my best, and, you know, make what I bring to the table fit into what's already going on here. Yeah. So,
do you want to add how I'm a better pickleball player than you?
Oh my goodness! Well, if you playing with the gold medalist, Pastor Heron out here,
I asked,
y'all
I was
gonna
like,
get
who
some
are you
W's.
with? And he was like, Pastor. I said, is Pastor Adam even good? Like, does he play? I mean, I never played pickleball, so I wouldn't
She said,
know.
is he even like that?
Hey, Colin.
Hey, he did surprise me. He can move. He can move. It was a pleasant surprise, and he hit a little Jordan pose on us out there. I said, all right.
He can move.
Somebody surprise.
Well, for someone that doesn't really like athletics.
This guy got smashed.
Who got smashed?
Bro, we even gave you Heron, and you still only won by 3 points. That was it.
Only one. A dove is a dove.
But anyone who had Heron, like when Heron was on my team, we won 11-0 almost every time. 11-0, 11-0.
Watching go PH.
And then you're like, okay, my turn to partner with Pastor Heron, and then it's like 11-9. That's the score. So it's like
that you actually had to work at that game.
Yeah.
Then he broke a little sweat up there. But
I was thinking about, I was like, hey,
he could move though. Like, I was like, all right, my pastor's agile out here.
Bro, I mean, I move. I really expected more from Colin, to be honest. Wow. But you know.
Right.
I told him, I said, hey, is this your second time playing? He said, no, I played a bunch. I was like, ooh, sorry.
Yo, look, we can get some football cleats on it. You gotta pick a new sport.
Yeah, pickleball's kind of mutual grounds. Like that's a mutual ground.
Different.
Like no one's.
He's athletic.
You can be athletic, but it's like the strategy in that game too. Like you
100%.
gotta understand.
I don't have patience.
I'm out of position. This ball's getting.
Trust me.
I'm not
I
gonna
hold
get
it.
to it.
Now, what you all don't want is no one wants to play ping pong against me. I'll tell you that.
Ping pong.
You don't want to play ping pong. So you're lucky it goes to the pickleball court. You're lucky.
Ping pong.
Gabe, tell this man.
Like that, Gabe? Is he like that, Gabe?
Tell this man.
He said,
He's like that.
Thank you.
He's really like that.
You don't want the ping pong smoke.
Came and swamped us up.
Yeah, but Heron's nasty at pickleball.
ping pong?
No,
at
at
pickleball.
pickleball. He's gold medalist.
He's good at.
Well, he
he's
did
good at
like
ping
a
pong,
tournament,
but-
too.
Well,
right?
he plays like every chance he's like my mom. He's
he's
like
good.
he's silent. He's a silent Betsy. He doesn't tell the whole world he plays pickleball.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap. Wait, so
No,
your
but I
mom's
mean,
in
like,
on it too?
he's- Yeah.
What?
Your mom,
nice?
your mom loves it as
decent, yeah.
mom loves it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Heron is like
Age
a
is like,
sport?
I'm
Good.
trying to get
Like,
televised.
he
kinda.
can.
He needs to
like,
be televised.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Like he can hold it
I need
down.
to
Him
watch
and,
him play.
shout
Yeah.
out Josh Segovia. He's nice out there too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tennis
That's what I
translated
hear.
real nice.
Yeah.
That's so
Real
crazy.
nice.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Beyond. It's already been time. It's already time, pretty much.
way.
So we go 45 minutes to an hour. That's
Get a
some time.
dog. Wait to have a kid.
Get a dog. Talk about your friendships.
Yeah.
Figure out your holidays.
Holidays.
Yeah.
All
Ahead of time.
before you get married.
Yeah.
Write your own vows.
Take a career decision, but might get lonely in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, good takeaways.
Right
Yeah.
about
Good year-long
toes.
takeaways.
Write your own vows.
Yeah. Get whooped by Adam at Pickleball a year into your marriage.
God.
You got whooped 6 months in when
See,
we
now
played
we got to
at
run it
Pomona.
back. We got to run it back this
You
week.
got, bro.
Gosh.
We got to
I'll play 1v1.
I'm playing.
get it.
Me and here no playing a team.
Ashley, honestly, we played for Mother's Day and Ashley sucked.
I was not in the
really
mood.
hope-
I wasn't in the mood. It was hot that day. It was like it was one of those days where, I'll save us for another one.
I just played. All right, you weren't in the mood. All right. For your mother for Mother's Day. It's all your mom wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah.
All she wanted to do for Mother's Day.
She said, "Oh, let's all go to a pickleball court
As a family?
and play pickleball." Yeah.
Yes.
Like, all right. All right.
and Chinese food. Yeah, I don't ask how they mix. But
Hey,
they-
it turned out to be fun.
It
I
was.
didn't- not that I didn't think it would be, but I was just like, okay, like we'll see how we had church all day. We'll see what happens. I was like, yeah, it was pretty fun. Better
That's
than
what it
just sitting
was.
on a couch,
That's true.
Or going to a restaurant waiting 2 hours to
That's
sit down.
true.
So,
That's true.
it's fun.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody, peace
God
out.
bless.
Bye.
Peace.